the past year I've been focused on winning this war. I stand here today as a testament to your fortitude and commitment. I understand this will never suffice, but I want to take a moment to say something to you all. Thank you. I hope I may continue to rely on you. Of course, I hope that I may continue to be of service. You've grown so much, I would like nothing better than if Commander Grail and Elena could see you now. What a long road we've traveled, and yet, in many ways, it seemed to pass so quickly. I'm proud to have fought beside you, Ike. We did well, didn't we? I'm sure Mom and Dad would be proud of us. Great job, Ike. Of course, if I hadn't been by your side the whole time, victory might have slipped away. I sincerely doubt that, Boyd. Commander Ike. I'm going to keep practicing so I can be better than ever. Thanks for having faith in me. No problem, little buddy. Finally, it's finally over. At long last, we can return to a life without war. Praise the goddess. Ike, are we going to go back to being mercenaries? I'm a great soldier and all, but the easygoing life of mercenary is the only life for me. Teehee. Now let's go find some good-looking lasses. Suppose you want some kind of congratulations now, right? Well, too bad. Too bad, Waluigi damn. You're a snot-nosed whelp, but I'm still better than you. Don't ever forget that. Love you too, buddy. Hey, boss, we did it! Woohoo! You know, I'm completely in love with your fighting style. If I could train under you, it'd be great. So let me stick around for a little while, alright? So yeah, Mia actually joins the mercenary company proper. I've no more work here. I'll be leaving you shortly. If you've needed my services, you know how to reach me. Alright, Volk. Catch you on the flip side. Meanwhile, the initial Knights of Crimea. Alicia, you had to wait a long time, but I finally fulfilled my contract. The mission is complete. My Lord Ike, on behalf of all of Crimea, my departed father, mother, and uncle, I thank you once again. Oh, stop. Come on, will you please stop doing that? Pardon? I think I've gotten used to a few of these noble customs and whatnot, but I still can't handle the bowing. It makes me antsy. And itchy, too. It makes you itchy? I'm not Alright, fine, it's the finale. I'll do it this once. Oh, glorious day of sweet victory. Praises upon the day the goddess did see it fit to send Sir Ike to save our land. Thank you, General Ike. Because of you, I believe we better understand how to serve Princess Alicia. Through your strength, the dark clouds that have blanketed Crimea have been dispelled. From this day forth, we will give our all to see the restoration of this land and its people. General, you are Crimea's savior. For my merited service, I salute you. Huzzah! Nay, 1,000 huzzahs! Oh, Kieran. Whew! I'm glad that's over. When I saw King Dan, I was sure I was done for, or that he'd torture me. But you were a bull, thank you. Now I can go home and see my family once more. When I get back to the countryside, I'm going to boast to all my family and friends that I fought under you. Morgan and I are going to stay here and open up a shop. With Crimea undergoing reconstruction, there are going to be a lot of people moving about. We'll open an inn with good food and drink and free butter on every table. We'll be rich in no time. We'll let you know when everything's all set up. You can drop in any time. Maybe we'll even give you special rates. Maybe we should call it General Ike's Inn. Sure, I guess. General Ike, I will be taking my leave of you for the time being. I must report to Benyon and present a report of the war's outcome. Are you going to take Benyon's soldiers with you? You lent us quite a few. Though the war may be over, it will take many weeks to see the country secure. I spoke with the princess early, and she asked that we help if possible. So I'll leave them in your care a while longer. We really do owe Benyon a lot, don't we? In the end, we got not only you, but a whole battalion of reinforcements. General Zelgus and his troops are the reason we were able to minimize casualties during the final battle. He just meant to took care of the retreating Danes and allowed us to focus on the enemies before us. No matter the assistance you had, the victory itself is a result of your strength and leadership. I know 2 people will be very pleased to learn of your triumph. Please give my thanks to both the Apostle and to Sephiroth. I plan to go and thank them myself someday, but... Understood. Farewell, General Ike. I'll look forward to seeing you again. Farewell. Ike, hey handsome, I've decided to return to the service of the Benyon Pegasus Knights. Cool beans, huh? Oh, I owe you so much, Ike. Thank you so much. I'll see you around. I think I might try to starve in Benyon. Maybe it's too much, too soon. But I just want to live a more responsible life. Plus, I'm tired of men threatening to break my knees. Goodbye, Ike. Goodbye, General Ike. The war has given me the confidence to enter the service of the Benyon Knights. Thank you so much. Devdan is glad all the fighting stopped. Devdan prefers the peace and quiet. War's not good for anything. Well, we're going home. All of our desert friends are waiting for us, and wow, do we have some stories to share with them. Laguz and Bjork, perhaps the gap between us has narrowed. War is horrible, yet maybe we've gained something of value after all. Find me when you come to the dunes. We can sit and talk with no fighting. See you later, Stefan. Are you leaving already? Yep, I'm out of here. I've got some important guests to convey to the king. Guests? Of course it's Leanne and Raisin. Who would you expect? Master Ike, thank you for everything. He's talking about us. We're taking my father to visit Gallia for a while. We Herons should live somewhere near a forest, after all. Tabarn spoke with King Kanigas on our behalf. You're not returning to Serenus? Well, we made our peace with the Impossible. We're not ready to live there again. I see. You'll be able to return someday. Bjork and Laguz will come to understand and respect each other. You may be right. I hope you are. You ready? We should be leaving soon. Just I meant you're dead as well. Gallia is a very special place to me. I'd like to visit again someday if I may. Come whenever you're able. The king will be pleased to see you. And one more thing. Gallia will not spare any effort in aiding Crimea's reconstruction. Awesome. Be sending supplies and workers to you shortly. It'll be much appreciated. Oh wait, Raisin, Leanne. What is it? Do you think I could touch the medallion one last time for my mom and dad? Yes, it's alright, isn't it, brother? Of course, go ahead, put out your hand. Alright. Thank you very much. Is that enough? Yes, I just wanted to say goodbye. Thank you. And you too, Ike. What? Also like to give our heartfelt thanks to your parents as well. For fulfilling the hopes of our sister. Thank you. Thank you, our kind-hearted Bjork friends. Yes. Ike, I will help rebuild Crimea too. I will lend you much strength. Can't believe I'm doing this. Yes, I can't believe I'm doing this, but I must admit that you've done well. You're a good fighter, too good to leave with these Bjork. We'll meet again. Well, it's about time for us to take wing. Built a close bond, haven't we? That is true. We're especially grateful for your help in Serenus Forest. The next time you come to visit, the next time you're visiting the southern coast, come to Phoenix, as the entire country will celebrate your arrival. The country of the Hot Tribe, eh? That'd be fun. Kinda interested in what kind of foods you eat. We collect berries from trees on peaks that no Bjork could climb. The juices and desserts made from it are beyond compare. We have ocean delicacies, mountain treats, we have everything. I'll pass on the desserts, but I'll take extra helpings of the meat. Yeah, 'cause you're all about the meat, aren't you? Gosh. Hate to interrupt your gleeful chat, but I thought I should tell you. You don't have to visit Kilvis. It's not our policy to invite Bjork in our home, unless they pay well. Jeez. Despite all our posturing, and despite all of your posturing, you came to our aid in the end. You turned out to be a better ally than I dared hope for. Dared is right. Ha! Keep your foolish tongue inside your foolish head, and don't tell anyone. I've got a reputation to think of. Farewell, and I'm serious about Phoenix's too. Come anytime. General, the bird tribes are in your debt. We are grateful. Please take care. If you ever have need of the king's eyes, fire a flaming arrow from a high place. I'll see it and come flying. That is, if I'm not busy on an errand for the king. The initial people from Dan. General Ike, I will never ever forget you. Thank you for showing me the error of my ways. I'm just glad that it's finally over. Maybe now I can get some sleep. Yeah, that'd help, wouldn't it? Things are going to be rough in Dan too. I don't know what the future holds, but I'm heading back. It is my homeland, after all. I've played my part. All that remains is for me to take my leave of this place. History will judge my actions. Must and the others are going to go to Dan, and I think I'm going to go with them. Thank you for everything, General Ike. I hope they packed enough food. I'm pretty hungry. I'm actually kind of hungry myself. Crimea is an interesting place, but I've decided to travel to Dan. Perhaps fate will bring us together again. Perhaps so, Stefan. Or Stefan. Zahark. All those Swords Master units. So hard to keep track of them all. How odd, you know, we've been both enemies and allies. Thanks to you, Rajion was saved, and so was I. Thank you. So you were with King Dan because you were trying to save Rajion? Yes. Ina's fiancé went missing many years ago. After Ina finally found him, she came to me for help. She told me that Rajion was with King Dan and that he'd been warped beyond almost all recognition. Long ago, Ina's parents died and I was unable to do anything for her. Even so, she still came to me for help. No matter what, I had to help her. It was to that end that I used you. I'm sorry. It's all in the past now. There's nothing for you to worry about any longer. Thank you, Ike. Will Ina return to Goldoa? Yes. Must take Rajion back to his hometown. Are you going to Nasir? Yes, I am. For the first time in decades, I will walk on Goldoan soil. That'll be nice. Take care of yourself, and give my regards to Kurth Naga. I will, until we meet again. Nasir. I don't know what you thought, but I always trusted you. Except for that one moment where I learned of your deception and never thought of you as an enemy. Huh, even now you defy my prediction. Prediction? Remember when we were sailing off the coast of Phoenix, remember? I said that war could change how you look at things. And yet, through all that's happened, you remain the same. Just can't pretend to be anything that I'm not. Never been any good at that. Please stay that way, Ike. Don't change for anyone. I'll see you again, won't I? Yes, I'm sure of it. The war is over. The Crimean people, who suffered gravely during the harsh Daean occupation, have at last regained their freedom. These same Crimeans have a saying: no matter how harsh the winter, spring will ever follow. This popular proverb proves true as the warm winds of change begin to blow across the countryside. The war has left the country in ruins, but the people rise from the ashes. They take the first steps towards rebuilding their nation. Dude, you're doing so well! You were doing so well, and then you tripped over your words. Though once scorned and despised as subhumans, the Lagoos put aside past enmity and come to the aid of their neighbors. Crimeans never forget it was Gallia that fought beside them and helped free them from the yoke of Daean oppression. Led by the examples of Valencia and her retainers, Crimea begins transforming into the land its king had dreamed of. A land where Bjork and Lagoos live together in harmony and equality. As the reconstruction efforts progress, the administrative government announces that the enthronement of Valencia as the new queen. And now, the day of her crowning arrives. This is all automatic speed right here, just so you know. So I can't make it go any faster. I'm so tired. I could fall over. Peace is all well and good, but it sure is busy. We're rebuilding a country that was completely devastated by war. It's bound to be tough. You're right. I bet Princess Valencia and the people in the palace are twice as busy. Speaking of Valencia, what's she doing? She's in that room over there, surrounded by court officials. They seem really busy. I feel so sorry for her. As long as she's getting at least a little rest, I'm not worried. But she probably isn't. Yeah, probably not. Maybe if I sing her a lullaby. Ah! Oh no! I forgot. You forgot what? I gave the medallion to Raisin, but I forgot all about the Galder. Ike, what should we do? Hey, yeah. We never did find out who Altina is, did we? She was the only one who could sing the Galder. Well, when things calm down, we'll have to head out and search for her. Is that Altina you speak of? One of the three who defeated the Dark God? Who could this be? Hey, dude, we haven't seen you in a while. What's up, man? So you made it, did you? It's good to see you again. I arrived mere moments ago. Let me congratulate you on a successful end to your journey. Thanks, dude. Appreciate it. Please tell me, do you know who Altina is? Yeah, that would actually be helpful to know. That's one of the few things that didn't get really wrapped up. Of course. Altina founded my homeland of Benyon. Oh, then it was a mistake. We can't give a song to someone who died so long ago. There is one who yet shares both bloodline and name. The true heir of Altina. Who is it? Is it Marth? It's not Marth. Sanaki. Yep. None other than the Apostle herself. The Apostle? Is this something everyone in Benyon would be aware of? Probably not. Yeah, I was about to say, there are very few that know her name, or that know, very few that know her name. Why do you ask? The Apostle is Altina. Oh, I'm so relieved, and exhausted too. Ike, I'm going back to my room. Yeah, go take a nap, I tell ya. See you later, Sephron. That was rather sudden. Did I say something to cause her distress? Not really. No, nothing like that. Just that so much has happened, yeah. Between Benyon and Serenus. That's also true. Would you tell me about it? I would hear what you have to say on the matter. Sure. To tell the truth, he of course talks about the whole ordeal. I see. The assassination of the Apostle, the Serenus massacre, and the use of the medallion to revive the Dark God. All of it was part of Ashnar's grand scheme. That's the conclusion we came to. You have made a loss. Why is that? For many years, I've walked these lands, watching, listening, and never did I uncover what you have found. Now that you've presented me with this information, don't know what to say. Merely fulfilled the hopes of my father and mother. Now you speak from hindsight. Rescuing Princess Crimea, winning the Apostle's trust, and defeating King Dan. Fagoo's at your side, nonetheless. You've accomplished all of these miraculous things. I had trusted in valiant companions at my side. It was only through their support that I was able to do these things. Ever the humble one, eh? Now then, before I return home, may I hear the Galder of Elise? I must convey it to the Apostle. You would do that? None of you can leave Crimea. The new queen will need your strength. Yeah, I have a good point. Suppose that will be the case for a little while, won't it? Yeah, a little while. You were the hero of Crimea, General Ike. If you wish it, no post will be beyond your reach. I don't care about any of that. It's more trouble than it's worth. I don't see the value of being some fancy lord. Well, then you're not that bright, obviously. When the country's safe, I'm giving up that title and everything and going back to being a mercenary. Truly, you are something strange? Yes, it's very... I think that's enough. I'm sorry. Unbelievable. Despite all appearances, you're really quite rude. Commander? May I have a minute? Sure. What is it? Princess Alencia. Oops, it's Queen Alencia now. The court ministers want Queen Alencia and you to come out onto the balcony and greet the people. What? Greet the people? Me? Yes, you. Done what I was asked to do. Now hurry up and get going. Hey! Titania! Ah, nuts. Why do I... What's going on? people of Crimea wish to see their hero, and to sing his praises, even if the hero himself protests. Yeah. If they want a greeting, surely their new queen, Alencia, would suffice. I'll go speak to her. Don't think you're gonna have a choice in the matter, but whatever. Thus do heroes give birth to new chapters in history. Ike, I doubt if you've even noticed your story. The everyday mercenary who becomes a hero will awaken ugly appetite and ambition in many. It will be the cause of strife and discord throughout the land. I'm certain Ashnard saw the truth in this. In a way, Ashnard's dream may have been fulfilled. The seeds of war have indeed been sown across the continent. It appears your trials are just beginning, my gallant young hero. May the goddess ride with you.
What's wrong? Everyone's waiting to see you.
I'm nervous. I've spent my whole life in hiding. It's just no one ever taught me how to rule a kingdom. I don't think I'm ready to be their queen. I don't think I'm ever really going to be ready.
What's the matter with you?
Ike, stop it. How can
Did anyone teach you how to hire mercenaries?
No, but that's not the same.
How to win back lost allies? How to win back your lost kingdom?
That's different.
No, it's not. You've done such an amazing job, and I think you always will.
I see.
All right. Come on. We'll do this. Together.
Thank you, my Lord Ike. I am so blessed to have met you.
And so it was that in the spring of the year 646, Alencia Rydell Crimea saw peace return to her homeland. In the years to follow, the story of Queen Alencia and her noble hero Ike spread across the land and inspired the songs of many a wandering troubadour.
Fire Emblem Path of Radiance has come to an almost close as the credits roll through. Pay our respects to Iwata, wonderful, very, very creative man. All of his abilities. Now, there is one other thing that I'm going to show, but I'm going to take a little break from this project, and it won't be like NCS of Final Fantasy X, mind you, but there are actually trial maps in this game. And I'm going to be showing some of them off. I don't know if I'll be showing them all, but I want to show at least one. Because there are actually characters you can unlock by beating the game a certain amount of times. And these are not extra characters, these are characters that were in the story. To name a few, you have Oliver, the fat guy that captured Rayson. Petrine, one of the Four Riders of Dayan. Bryce, one of the Four Riders of Dayan. And believe it or not, you can actually, in the trial maps, use Ashnard himself if you've completed the game a certain amount of times. Now, Ashnard is the final character in this that you unlock. You have to beat the game 15 times in order to unlock him. The next highest up would be Bryce, the final general that we fought in that epilogue chapter, and he is unlocked through beating the game 10 times. Ashnard is the only character right now that I don't have. I've got everybody else. So what I'm going to do is try something first and foremost. If this is not the 15th playthrough, then we'll have to do this. If it is, then it won't be that big of a deal. What I'm going to try to do is see if this works. I will probably copy the file. I can't copy this one, but I will probably play through it on easy again. Copy the file whenever I get to chapter 30 or Endgame, and just basically play it and then beat it and then play the copied version and beat it, so I only have to actually beat the final stage a couple times. If I can glitch the game out that way, which is not really a glitch, it's just manipulation more than anything, but if I can get that to work, then I'll come back whenever I've beaten the game 15 times. If that does not work, since I've beaten it at least 10 times to get Bryce, this is number 11, so I would have to play through it another 4 times in order to get King Ashnard. If it does not work, then I might actually try to do that, but it depends on how much effort I want to put in. So if I decide screw it, it's not worth it, then I will not be using Ashnard. Everybody else will be available. I don't know if I'll be using everybody. Oliver's actually pretty weak, so I may not use them all, but that is the way it stands for now. Though I'm sure you guys are very, very done with Fire Emblem Path of Radiance. I completely understand. This game got rushed a lot. The day I'm recording this is the 11th, and at this point, I believe there's still like another 4 or 5 chapters to go, so I uploaded these things almost daily. I'm sure that got very obnoxious, but if you've stuck through this with me, or maybe you're watching this in the future on a playlist, really do appreciate all the support you guys gave for this. Actually, a lot of you at the start were pretty stoked to see this come back. And as the typical thing goes with an LP, of course, it starts to lose a little bit of impact the farther you go. It's one of those things, unless you're following it from the start, then it kind of loses a little bit of appeal. And with it being a replay and all, I can still understand why. But at the same time, for those of you guys that stuck through this with me, I do appreciate it a lot. I do think this game is very good. This is one of those games that has a way of sneaking up on you in the desire to play it. Sometimes, you'll be thinking about what type of game you want to play. You're like, oh, maybe I'll do an RPG, and then you narrow it down a little bit more, and you think, oh, we'll play some Fire Emblem. And you want a game that's not very difficult. And on easy, and even by extension on normal, this game is pretty easy overall. One of the big things that I've heard from a lot of people that dislike Fire Emblem, it's because they made the mistake of picking the wrong one to start with. And most of the time when I hear that and I say, which one did you start with, 9 times out of 10 the answer I hear is Shadow Dragon, which, for those of you that played that, is an understandable response. That game is much more difficult than this one is. I would say this is a pretty decent one to start with. It's not the easiest one in the series, I don't think. If you played all of them on normal, it's not the easiest one, but it is one of the easier ones. I feel like this is a good one to start on as well. And they're going to sing here, and you can see the lyrics on the bottom. I feel like this is also a pretty decent one to start if people are getting into Fire Emblem. The big thing with it wasn't really recognized until Smash Melee came out, and people were like Marth and Roy, who are these characters? And Fire Emblem kind of started getting its appeal in North America, and so they started releasing games for it. And this game came out, and then later on in Smash Brawl, after this game, and I don't remember if Radiant Dawn came out before or after Smash, but this game was out before Smash Brawl was. And so this is a good idea to get some backstory into Ike. He plays a lot different in Smash, of course. He's a much heavier character, rather than this one where he's swordsman that's really an all-rounder that does pretty well, all things considered. For those of you that are that have played Fire Emblem for a while, you probably already know that all of the games have a unit that can't die throughout the entire thing, the Lord unit, if you will. And Ike is definitely one of the better Lord units. He's far better than Marth, much, much better than Roy, and typically, with the exception of the Avatar characters that you can make now in Fire Emblem, like Awakening and Fire Emblem Fates, back in the day, Lord units were not very good. You trained them up because you had to, because you knew that if they got in a fight with the wrong unit by accident, they would be dead, and that more than likely later on you would need them for a critical fight. With Ike, it really doesn't ever feel that way. It feels like you could use him as a normal unit, like out on the front line, and you don't have to be that careful with him. The only exception would be maybe at the start of the game, but after he gets his legs, you know, by the time he's at level 9 even, as Ranger, he's usable. So, he's a much more usable Lord. If you've ever been curious about a Fire Emblem game, this is probably the first one I would recommend. Maybe Radiant Dawn, by extension. I think this game has not aged as well as Radiant Dawn, and that's probably because, you know, Radiant Dawn is a generation ahead, game-wise. You know, it's on the Wii, this game's on the GameCube. So, I don't think this game has aged as well. So if you're playing this for, like, all the really cool cutscenes, playing it for the battle animations in particular, you're probably going to pass on this one, but if you're playing this for just, you know, an RPG that's kind of like Fire Emblem or is Fire Emblem, this is a good one to start with. To be honest, truthfully, I'd completely forgotten that Rajion actually survives. I thought he actually died. I figured that the Golder that they played was just to try to put his mind at ease before he passed. I'd forgotten he survived. And that, before they actually mentioned he survived, that was really hard to watch, as somebody who has had an experience pretty similar to that, which the person in question that was related to me did not pass away. But let's just say, to keep it simple, there are some choices that no person should ever have to make, and that was one of those decisions, and that was really hard to watch. But once I realized he was alive, I was like, okay, good, because that would have been, I don't know, I feel like that would have destroyed it a little bit, so I'm glad that he actually did survive that. I don't believe they hardly ever mention him in the sequel, but regardless, you know, either way, it's good to know that he survived. Now, it is actually going to roll through the stats here in a second, so it's not quite over, even though it says Finn, you know, because, like, the Adventures of Huck Finn, the Finn in the final, and the Finn is the end. Don't remember if you hit A here? Yeah, you do hit A here. Okay. Jeez, 2 hours. This is going to be a 2.5 hour recording by the time I'm done with this. What have I done to you guys? I'm so sorry. This could be so much longer than I thought it was. Oh. So you can see your records. This will show all the chapters, all the chapter titles, how many turns it took you, and also how much time you took. So you can see what chapters are the longest. So I'm willing to bet it's probably 21, but I could be wrong. There might have been a point where I didn't care. That chapter took a while. 18. It's funny, because like these mid-chapters seem to typically use up more turns than your endgame stuff does. I'll tell you right now, the endgame chapter was not the longest, I know for a fact. Feral Frontier was your desert level, so I could expect to see that up pretty high. Chapter 17, remember, Chapter 17, despite being the fact it was 38 turns, remember that was the stage that was in 4 different parts. So, you kind of have to give that one a little bit of a pass. But yeah, Without a King was 19 turns, so that's probably the longest one. As opposed to Chapter 25, there was only 6. Let's have a look. Moment of Fate was 20 turns. But yeah, that endgame was only 14 turns, so while it was one of the longer stages time-wise overall, turn-wise it was not. Now there's one other thing we have to look into on stats. This is going to show our units. Now, in the unit records, the first people that are going to pop up are the people that have no battle victories. This is based on how many wins that unit had. In addition to this, if any of your units were killed in combat, it will say that they perished on whatever chapter, or they died, whatever you want to call it. So you'll see those first if there are any. After that, you'll see all of the people that had 0 wins, and then you'll start seeing the people that actually have at least 1 kill under their belt will start to come up. But for a while, you're going to be seeing 0, depending on how many people you use. And of course, some people are going to be near the bottom of your list, like Mist was for mine, even though she was high level because she wasn't getting into fights. So you can kind of expect to see that. You know, that victories don't always mean everything. Sometimes it's all about the, you know, it's all about the ability to heal or whatever their abilities were, rather than how many kills they got. But either way, once again, thank you guys for sticking through with me on this one. I know this was a super long project, an even longer finale than what I thought it was. Like, my gosh, I didn't realize it was going to be this bad. I'm so sorry. But I hope that if all goes well, and by the time this goes up, I'll already know if it works or not. I really hope that in the long run this was a good choice, because if I can get the LP that it's coming up to work, which should be going up pretty soon after this, it's going to be well worth getting through this game a little bit quicker. And to be honest, as fun as this game was to play, I am glad this is over. It is a fun game to play, but it's like one of those games. I'm not going to say I didn't enjoy recording it, but you know, it's one of those games that it's not as actiony, and because of that, it's not as exciting to record. It's still fun, it's just not as exciting. So after everybody has scrolled by, you might notice a couple people are missing. That is because now it will show you your top 5. So Neffany was my 5th place person. Rolf was number 4. Say Jill was 3. Ike was 2, and Oscar was 1, if I had to guess. No, Oscar was 2, so Ike was number 1. I do like those pictures. They're actually really cool. So yeah, Ike ended up taking the win with 120 wins. Usually Oscar is the person that gets the most kills on my file, so good on you, Ike. Guess if anybody deserved the victory, it was in fact him, but you know, that will do it. So, let's see if I can hit the thing here to... There we go. That being said, Fire Emblem Path of Radiance, the main story, has come to a close. So, whenever I get around to it, next time we will be going to the extras mode and I will be showing off some of the trial maps. I'm guessing you guys probably don't care about any of this other stuff. Sound room is the music. You can always look that up on YouTube. Theater's the cutscenes. Again, you can always look them up. The illustrations are kind of cool. But, like, you know, you can look these up as well. So, nothing incredibly new here. They do look pretty cool, though. Okay. Connect GBA. I don't remember what this does. Oh, this is for Sacred Stones. Okay, yeah, that's right. Okay, never mind. That's a completely different game altogether. But we will be seeing the trial maps later on at some point. Like I said, we'll kind of see if I could get that trick to work, and if I can get Ashnard, then I'll do it whenever that's the case. If it does not work, then I'll probably just do it without Ashnard. I probably won't make an update video. I'll probably just say, yeah, Ashnard has the same stats as whenever you saw him in the final battle, but we'll be going back to the trial maps later. I might show all 3, because I believe there's 3 right now. You actually do choose your data here, so fair warning about that. Whatever units are level 20, you'll have, you know, they'll be at level 20, etc. So make sure that you are aware of that. For now, I've only got these 3 maps. I don't remember if you can get any more, but that might be part of the connecting the GBA thing. Either way, we've gone long enough in this video. Thank you guys for sticking with this. This has been Pitmarthroy, and with the exception of the bonus features, I will see you guys for the next project. Take care.